Hello, this is Cara. In the last video clip, I showed you the first signature that I had made for my fabric journal with the theme of words on a page. Today I'm going to show you the lace theme signature. Now this is, I'll just bring it back a bit, there we go. This is the lace themed journal, and I actually didn't use, you recall I had fabric pages ready to go. On this particular one I opted for something a little bit different because lace always makes me think about the old days and memories, the old times. And what I ended up doing was using one of the old tea towels I had in my stash, and I cut out using the same dimensions as I used for my first fabric journal. So essentially you've got, if you look at it against the index card, it's about slightly bigger, this one, than the 6x4, but similar. So what I've done is actually cut 2 layers of the tea towel. It's a nice soft old linen tea towel. Cut 2 layers and stitched them in the middle. I've lined them, I lined them with some old sheeting to try and give it a bit more body. And then in between them I have put wadding and some stiffer sisal hemp fibre just to stiffen it up a bit. So this one, while it's going into the same book as the first one I did on Words on a Page, this particular one is on the theme of lace, and you can see here parts of the old tea towel. And what I've done is highlighted using some scraps of fabric. You can see here I've got little scraps of fabric. I've sewn them on by hand. Little scraps, another little scrap underneath here. This was actually a clothing label which I blanket stitched on. Some old buttons which I've stitched on. This is an old edging, I think it's tatting actually, that I found amongst some of the lace supplies from my great aunt. And this is actually some cotton looking like lace that I think my mother even used in making, when she made me petticoats out of lawn. So I've attached that to the front here. So that's the first page. Just zoom back a bit. Okay, on the inside page of that first in this signature, I've continued on, of course, with the lace theme and little bits of calico. I've used an old button up here, some more gorgeous lace that I found, which I've put right the way across the top. Down the bottom here, more gorgeous lace. You can see here, stitched on with another little button there, stitched all the way across. It's very pretty. And then some of these little shell-like buttons that I've stitched on there. It's fairly sparse. Of course, the main feature of this particular page is this glorious little lace butterfly. It's amazing. I've got 3 of these that were found in my great aunt's supplies. So I've let that one sort of take centre stage, surrounded by all these lovely laces. On this side, still fairly sparse. I had continued across the lace at the top and the lace at the bottom. Some more little fabric strips here. I've put on part of an old photograph here, and I've stitched that on. Initially went around with stitched it on with running stitch on the machine, and then I've cross stitched it by hand. It's actually my gran. grandfather there. And lazy daisied some stitches across here and repeated the 3 button that I had up above on the previous page. So that's that page, and then the back page I had continued this cotton lace all the way on the back here, a bit of rick-rack across here, and this lovely piece of lace that I just let sit, stitched that on, just let it speak for itself, and this little bit of a crocheted doily that I'd started a doily and never made it any bigger, so I thought it was ideal for this little part of my page. And then another old button that I had that's been stitched on there. So for somebody who didn't think she could come up with too much to do with lace, I figured I've got some beautiful neutral colours in this, beautiful colours of the creams and the whites and the browns. It's all been hand stitched in with the quilting, so it's very soft and pliable, this one. So it will join this one in my fabric journal. Stay tuned for signature number 3. Bye. Thanks for watching.